Alright, so I just have a pan and I've mixed my ground turkey and I've chopped up just a pretty rough chop of my yellow onion, and I have a red and yellow bell pepper, and I've just chopped those up, and I put some salt and pepper in here. So I'm just going to fry this up until the turkey is completely cooked and there's no more pink. Alright, so I've just got a strainer and I put it over top of a bowl, and that's what I'm going to use to strain all of the fats and everything out of the meat. Some of that is from the vegetables that were in there, but a lot of that is fat from the turkey as well. So I just drain it all just to be sure to cut out any of that fat that's in there, so it's more low calorie. Now I turn down the heat. I'm going to add a ½ cup of water, and then my entire packet of taco seasoning, and I add these to the beef before I put them in the pot, just because turkey really doesn't have much flavor on its own, so I really like to make sure it's nice and flavored. And then I'm taking my garlic powder, and I'm not measuring, I'm just honestly going to eyeball and dump some in. So you're going to kind of just let that simmer until all the liquid is dissolved, and it dissolves pretty quickly with that taco seasoning in there. And I'm just going to kind of let that cook down a little bit, and then we're going to add it to our crock pot. Alright, so I'm just using my strainer, and I'm going to dump all of my beans into the strainer and give them a really good rinse. Alright, so just make sure you just get all that gooey coating off of them, and I'm just using cold water to rinse them. In my crock pot, I added my meat mixture, and I'm just going to dump all of my beans in, and you'll see that it fills. My crock pot isn't very big, but it fills it like pretty full. Alright, now to the pot, we're going to add our can of tomatoes and our other kind of stewed tomatoes. And with these stewed ones, they break up so easily. I just take them and I roughly just like make sure your hands are clean before doing this, and I just like crush them up with my hands so they're not in like huge big chunks, unless you like them in the huge big chunks. But we don't really like them too big and chunky, so I'm just breaking up the big chunks with my fingers. Alright, and now we're going to give this a big mix. Forgot, not everyone likes corn in their chili, but we love corn in our chili. So I just have this bag of frozen corn, and I'm going to dump some of that in as well. Just kind of eyeball it to our liking. Alright, so to get more moisture in here, I'm just taking some chicken broth, and I'm just going to dump it in. I'm not measuring, I'm just dumping it in until it's like the desired consistency that I want. If you want to cut back the calories even more, you could just use some water. I just use chicken broth because there's not very many calories in it, and if you get the lower calorie stuff, that is. And it gives it just more flavor than the water does. So I think this is about the consistency that I'm going to like. So now I'm going to add in my final seasonings. Alright, so again, I'm just going to dump it in. I'm not measuring. I just have some chili powder. And with this, it depends how spicy you like it. We don't like it too spicy, but I definitely like to taste it. So I'm just going to dump some in and stir it up, and then once it's cooked for a little while, I'll taste it and see if it's to our liking, and if I need to add more, I'll add some more. And this may seem weird to use cinnamon in your chili, but it's honestly just kind of like my personal preference. It gives it a really yummy taste. So I always add just a dash of cinnamon to it as well. Alright, so I've just mixed it all together, put the lid on, and I'm just going to set the time for 8 hours. So, and that's on low. So it's almost 11 o'clock right now, and we usually eat around 6:30, so this will be plenty. Really just has to warm it through, get all the flavors meddling together. And yeah, this is super, super good chili. We usually serve it with a little bit of low-fat cheese, maybe a little dollop of low-fat sour cream on top, and it is so yummy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in our next video. Bye guys.